Hey, what's going on, shrimp keepers? I wanted to bring you a video. I had a couple requests about how to catch shrimp from shrimp tanks, and so I want to do a video about how I catch a large number of shrimp from a shrimp tank at one given time. And this could work if you're catching 20 shrimp, if you're catching 10 shrimp, whatever it is. This strategy usually works pretty good. And so what I did is these two tanks, as I told you guys last Wednesday, I am breaking them down. I'm moving them over. I didn't have time last week with everything that was going on. But so what happened is I didn't feed these guys over the weekend while I was gone. So it's been about 4, maybe 5 days since they ate last, and so they're pretty hungry. And so what I'll do is I'll put a huge net in this tank, and I'll feed them. And then over the course of probably about 45 minutes, the shrimp will all conjure up in there. They'll gather together. They'll be eating the food. As you can see, they're already starting to gather on the food. And so then after that time, you know, they'll really get. You know, a lot of them will get in there. Probably about 75% of this tank will get into that net. And then I'll scoop that net up, and I'll put these guys in a dip and pour. Now, if you're just looking to, you know, maybe get rid of 10 of them or cull some or different things like this, this works for culling. This works for catching large numbers of them. It works for catching a few. So what I'll do is I'll net this out. I'll put it in a dip and pour. And this is what a dip and pour looks like. And so I'll set on the tank, I'll fill it up, you know, halfway with water. I'll dump all the shrimp in there. And then I'll get a little fluval net. Fluval nets are the type that I use. You know, nothing special. They work, and they're fairly inexpensive. You know, maybe $6, something like that. And so I'll put them in here, and then I'll actually go through with the little net and catch out the ones that I want. Or in this case, or you know, like I said, you could use them for culling too. So you can catch out the ones that you don't want, and then put the rest back in the tank that you're not culling off. And if you guys don't know what culling is, it's when you take out undesirable shrimp that don't have good color, or some kind of quality that you're not looking for, and you get rid of them to keep your bloodline good, keep your the patterns of the shrimp good, you know, different things like that. And so here, what I'm doing is I'm breaking this tank completely down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this net fill up for about 45 minutes, like I said, and then sorry, it's not focused. And then I'm gonna put all the shrimp in the dip and pour. And then I'm gonna add the food back into the net and let it go for about another 30 minutes. And then hopefully the majority of the shrimp that are left over are gonna go in that net and start eating. And then I'll net them out. And then from there on, I'm gonna take everything out of this tank, all the rocks, the filters, every kind of plant that's in here. And then go through and try to catch all the shrimp again. And then after that's all done, I'll add the plants back in, because most of the time, like if you see this bunch, shrimp are going to get caught up in this bunch, and they're going to be all woven in there, and you're not going to be able to catch them all. So you don't want to kill them. You don't want to, if you don't want them getting into another tank, this is what you should do. You should put them back in there, let it go for another day or two, and then repeat this strategy again. At that point, you're most likely going to catch the majority of the shrimp in here, at least to the best of your ability, and then all is good. And so that is my best strategy for catching shrimp. As you can see, this has been probably about 5 minutes, and they're already starting to get on the food. And the key is not to let them eat underneath the food, so try to make that as flat as possible, because they'll get underneath the net and start eating them from there, and you don't want that. And so that's just one strategy. I'm sure there's plenty of strategies out there. I'd love to hear you guys' feedback on what you do to catch shrimp. But this is just one way to do it. Another way that I do it, just real quick, is you know, it's super simple. I'll just, like this tank, I'll feed the food, and then they'll all be surrounded around it. And then I'll just take a fluval shrimp net and just catch 1 or 2 at a time. And that's if you're just catching a low number. Some fish or some shrimp are really skittish, like crystal reds, for example. So the bigger nets are idealistic for them. And that's just kind of what I do. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully this helps a few of you just learn a little bit something extra, maybe a strategy that you weren't aware of. But if you guys have any other strategies for how to catch shrimp, please leave them in the comments, because I would be very interested to see how other people do it too. So you guys make it a great week, and I will talk to you on Wednesday. Later.